Hey guys, we're back with another video. So today's video is going to be really different since my friend found something really weird, and I just wanted to tell you guys because it's pretty important, because it's dealing with Lunar Client, and a large portion of like the Minecraft community does use Lunar Client. Like if you log on to like if you log on to Hypixel, for example, and you just go into a lobby and like press tab, a lot of the people will be on Lunar Client, which it's saying a lot. Lunar Client's really popular, but the problem is Lunar Client might be spyware, and I'm not just throwing this out there because I don't like Lunar Client. I personally use Lunar Client, and I have been using it for like a year or so. So it's not because like I have a grudge against them or something. It's just because we found something in their privacy policy that's just so questionable that it's like, it really like begs the question, what is Lunar doing? Like, what is the application itself doing? So pretty much, if you look at their privacy policy, and you look at it specifically, it says Lunar Client is one part of it says Lunar Client is the primary recipient of your personal data. However, we may share limited information with our partners who use Lunar Client to protect their services. The types of personal data being collected and processed. Lunar Client may collect and process the following information from you: IP address, game identifiers, example, in-game account name, account UUID, etc. Information about the running operating system. And this next part's really weird. Information about game-related and operating system-related files, and memory information about running processes, drivers, and other executable code. And, like, honestly, it may just sound like I just said, like, a bunch of gibberish to you. So I'm just gonna break this down. So, game-related and operating system-related files. So, game-related files, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just files that relate to the game, like your .minecraft folder where you keep your resource packs, like save games, things like that. However, operating system related files is something completely different. Yeah, you do need to like find the actual directory of like the folder, like your .minecraft folder. For many of you, it's in like app data, and you actually need to do like Windows R, then go to app data, and so on and so forth. But it already says game-related files. Why is it saying operating system-related files? There's no reason that an application, and just a Java application made for playing Minecraft, needs to know like system-related files. And the next thing, memory information about running processes, drivers, and other executable code. So memory information, it's pretty much just your RAM. Okay. So running processes, like if you have anything going on in the background, like let's say you're playing Minecraft and you're listening to music on like Spotify or YouTube, they pretty much know that you're opening Chrome or you're using Spotify. Which sounds, it doesn't sound that dangerous, but privacy policies only like put what they need to like put like legally. They could be hiding a lot of things. Because, again, if they put every single thing in their privacy policy, if people actually read it, nobody's going to use their client. It's pretty self-explanatory. So obviously, they could see a lot more things. And the next thing is drivers and other executable code. So drivers would be something like, drivers are pretty much just how your computer like interacts with other things. And I'll put something on screen right now if I'm wrong, because I'm just like talking. But it's like how your computer interacts with a lot of things. Like like one common example is like your GPU. A lot of people say, oh yeah, you need to like update your GPU driver, you need to install this driver or something like that. It's just how your computer can like talk to a certain piece of your computer. And then other executable code. So any like exe or just whatever, it can be like tracked. The next thing, and they say they also, like the files might include like your operating system username, and that again, why do you need to like look at my operating system username? There's really no reason. And then it's also saying Lunar Client may store the information for the entire duration of its services. And yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And here's the nail in the coffin. It's super super alarming. Like if you read it, you won't believe it. You won't believe that it actually like is here. It says, as mentioned in our terms of service, you acknowledge that any harm or lack of privacy resulting from the use of the services, and services means Lunar Client, is not as valuable to you as the potential ability to play interactive online games with the benefits afforded by using the services. Obviously, this just sounds really really weird because it's in like legal talk. They have to like say it in a certain way. They can't just talk normally. But this pretty much is saying that you would rather sell like whatever data, or like you don't care about your privacy. It's pretty much just saying that you don't care about your privacy and you value playing Minecraft more than like keeping your privacy. And I'm just sitting here like, what the hell? What is this? Like, it's so mind-boggling. Like, if Lunar Client is specifically stating that that if you use our software, you're willingly giving up your privacy just so that you can play Minecraft, which that's just really really weird. So obviously, like after looking at this, my friend and I were like really really confused. We were like, okay, is there like some deeper meaning, or is this just it? So we went to the Lunar Client Discord, right? Because there's like a community help. We thought that maybe like the chat mods would like respond or something, like a basic generic answer, and then we could like email like Moonsworth, because they did say if you have any questions, just email us. And so we went on the Discord, and we like my friend asked them. So the chat mod at the time, the first thing they said was, we collect this information. So like my friend started off like, okay, what is this? Like, why do you need to collect this information? So the chat mod said, oh, we collect this information to detect any sort of blacklisted modification and to help diagnose issues with the client like crashes. Obviously, this chat mod is lying. The first part is a complete lie. Blacklisted modifications aren't detected by Lunar. Lunar doesn't have that kind of thing. Like, it even like, and I've seen it. They've like specifically said, oh yeah, we're removing our anti-cheat. They also, and even then, because of that, you see a lot of hackers are on Lunar Client. Like I believe I was like playing today or something, and there was a hacker there on Lunar Client, and yet they were hacking. They were like, they had like blatant kill aura. And so my friend obviously responded because like I'm talking with them, I'm in VC with him, and he's just like typing, and so I said they removed their anti-cheat, so that's obviously a lie. So he said, okay, wasn't the anti-cheat removed, and he also said, but how does that also need the operating system username? Because there's no reason that an anti-cheat needs an operating system username. Just there's no reason an application really does need that. And if you're specifically stating that it does need the operating system username, there's some kind of like hidden thing that the application is doing, which is what we're trying to find out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And he was also saying like what kind of blacklisted modification could exist in a driver, which I can't really answer that question. I'm not an expert in that, and I really don't want to like give you false information. So chat mod responds with Lunar collects information about the system through logs which are not obfuscated. I think that's how you say it. So OS username is naturally included. I advise directing further questions about this to some support ticket channel or something. And here's the thing. It's like I really don't want to bring out like the science card or like the psychology like card, but usually when somebody is like talking with big words, like they're losing the argument. They want to hide something. If you see any argument, whenever somebody's talking with larger and larger words, that means they just want to confuse you so that you can't respond and so that they win the argument. I'm not saying that the chat mod has malicious intent. I'm just saying that the chat mod it really seems like they're trying to hide something. Like nobody talks like this. I have never seen anybody use this word. I legit never even seen this word until now. Actually, not until now, but like before, when I actually saw this message. And you could say, oh well, maybe that's like the first thing that came to mind. But that's still, I really don't think that obfuscated is the first word that comes to mind when you're talking about something that's hidden. So obviously, the chat mod did like just ignore a couple of the questions, and like 3 out of the 4 questions. So if they only answer one question, they're just dodging questions left and right. Again, they're trying to hide something. So, like, and my friend just said, oh yeah, this is all BS, I'm uninstalling Lunar, even though he really doesn't have Lunar. But he left the server after that. And yeah. And then later, I went back on and actually messaged the mods, and they gave me like a completely different response and then just stopped responding to me, which again, seems like they're trying to hide something. Like, sure, the thing is, the chat mods aren't really supposed to answer these kinds of questions, but they didn't really direct me. They did direct my friend. They said, you really should email like Moonsworth themselves, because legality is something that a chat mod can't just like talk about just out of the blue, like just then and there. And him just like them just like saying all these things, and then after all of that saying that, oh, you should talk to Moonsworth again, that's pretty suspicious. And again, like the person who I talked to, they never even said, oh, you should talk to Moonsworth. They just gave me like a generic response with like, oh, it's to like collect crash logs, and that's it. Like, they just ignore the questions and then they just say something generic. And then this other chat mod just decided to be like a smartass and just say, oh, well, you can opt out of it by uninstalling the client. Yeah, no duh, I can like opt out of it by uninstalling the client. That's straightforward. If you're keeping things on my computer without my permission, because you do have to look through the privacy policy. Like if it says that, oh yeah, we do like keep things on your computer, like even after you uninstall the client, that like monitors your data or whatnot, they have to reveal that that's not something that you can just do. So they just said, and so that's at least one good sign that they're not like keeping something after you uninstall. So if you do want to uninstall Lunar after this video, you can easily do it. It's so weird and so mind-boggling that so many people are just blissfully unaware of this and like keep using Lunar Client. And you might say, okay, wait, and restaurant, okay, and you might say, well, don't you use Lunar Client? Like, I probably have gameplay going on in the background while like I'm talking, and yeah, I'm on Lunar Client. But here's the thing, I don't keep like valuable information on my computer. If my computer gets hacked and the information on it gets stolen, I really don't care. I don't keep like private details on my computer. You shouldn't either. You should be really careful of this, like of your privacy. Like, you should keep your privacy, especially in this coming day and age where like 90% of tech companies they take your data, and they take your data with your consent. Every single time you use an application, you always have to accept the privacy policy. If you don't, they won't let you install the like application. And most people, they just skip through the privacy policy, skip through the end user like agreement, and then just install the program, or just use the app, just use like the service, and that's it. That's how their data gets stolen. And like, and this again, this sounds like I'm gonna like sponsor something, but it's really not. I'm just saying this to help you, because like people need to keep like their like stuff safe. Like I've seen many people get hacked, like many people, like their data gets revealed and they get like doxxed or whatever. Obviously, like like close family has never gotten doxxed because they haven't really angered anybody specifically. But like some of them, they did get like their data stolen, which is like it's quite a big deal. So I really don't want I don't want 2 million people to have potential spyware on their computer while they think they're playing Minecraft. So again, I'm gonna keep using Lunar Client because again, I don't have any data on my computer that I can that's like potentially like that's like bad. Okay, so that's why I'm gonna keep using Lunar Client. And one last thing before I end the video, I did email Moonsworth about it, but they still haven't responded, which is it's so stupid. How does a company not respond to something like this? If your company is setting up your application and saying and the wording in your privacy policy is such that people think that your application is spyware, and they email you about it and you still don't respond, like obviously they're trying to hide something. If they're ignoring their email, which obviously if a company is ignoring their email, honestly just stop using the company's service, because no good company just ignores their email. And second, if they're just ignoring my email specifically, again, that's another bad thing. They're trying to hide something. Because if a chat mod has to stand up and say and has to protect a company, like a chat mod on Discord has to protect a company because the company doesn't respond to an email, that's pretty messed up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys.